Good evening, everybody across the nation, around the world, wherever you may be. This is the NECA King. And today we are doing a kind of non-specific unboxing of the movie line in general. These quarter scale figures, I got Donatello here, I got Mikey in the back. These quarter scale figures are just the absolute perfection of what is already a perfect line. I think that we live in an age now where we're so far beyond the initial releases of these things. Like even me, a person who just started collecting the last couple years, I already take these for granted. I already take the fact that these things exist for granted. And it's crazy because they're some of the most amazing action figures that have ever been made. And now we just kind of live with them. You know what I mean? They're just kind of there. They're clear. Some of these are shelf warmers, they're clearance items. And it's like, no, these are like some of the most finely crafted pieces of memorabilia that have ever been made. It's crazy. We give a lot of shit to NECA because they're like a horrible business and that shitty company, but we forget that the products that they make are really, really good. And I know that high-end collectors, you Hot Toys, Mezco, you guys who look down on Mezco as cheap, you Hot Toys boys or whatever, I love you. I wish I had the money. For those of us who don't, these things are incredible. They're little works of art, they're little sculptures. And that's what got me into this. And I wanted to speak to that a little bit about what got me into this and kind of why I need to get out of this, because it spirals into an unhealthy hobby. And it's something that I don't think that I really want to participate in as deeply as I've participated in it the last couple of years. I kind of got in over my head. But this is why. These things are beautiful. There's a craftsmanship to these that you're going to sound overwrought if you describe it, because at the end of the day, these are like mass manufactured Chinese toys. But the paint, the sculpt, the architecture of it, the way that they capture the essence of the thing that you love. And before I got these, as an adult, I didn't even realize I loved all this stuff. It re-sparked an interest in it that made me understand it more as an adult. And I'm so happy to pass it on to my kids. I think that probably Ninja Turtles is the best children's property that's ever been made, which is kind of crazy to say because it started off as like a violent comic book for edgy teenagers and adults, but it is really probably the best kids property ever. It has the most wholesome and thorough message. One thing that I can really share in confidence with my children, that there's going to usually be some kind of message there. Maybe not if it's Rise of the TMNT. I don't know about that. It's kind of like ADD. If you could actually animate attention deficit disorder, I think that's what Rise of the TMNT is. But I want to talk a little bit about the movie line in general and go back to it. And this is part of a overarching. This is part of a 3-part series. No, this is. I'm going to be talking more on the concept of like the dopamine rush wearing off in another video. I'm not going to make this video about that. Some of these figures we get so excited about when they're previewing them at San Diego Comic-Con and people are seeing the pictures and I can't wait for this to come out, and I've been waiting for this for so long and this looks so good. I gotta have it. It's a must-have as soon as it hits the show.
PandaCon, can't wait. He's gonna look great next to Usagi Yojimbo.
And then they hit the shelf and nobody buys them. Or people buy them. Here's the other thing. People buy them and then they never hear about them again. Like the joy was all in the anticipation and the buying. Like, what do you do with these things after you buy them? That kind of like defines, how you treat that rush. Like for me, a huge part of it is the display, the taking pictures, the sort of like recapturing the essence of all those feelings of the thing that it came from. And for some people, it's just like buying the box and stuffing it in a tote and putting it in their bedroom. And, after a while, I kind of found myself leaning towards that end of it. And that's why I kind of, want to stop a little bit. But, I got into this with my kid. I mean, I hadn't bought a Ninja Turtles toy since I was fucking 10 years old. You know what I mean? That all went out the door for me in like 96, 97. That's why I'm always saying I wish I could rebuy 95. I'm trying to buy 1995 again because that was like the last time that I was just a pure kid. 96, 97 hits and I start to turn into a teenager and all this stuff goes away. It wasn't until I bought my son his first action figure that it really hit home that this was something different, because his reaction to it, I think, broke my brain. I was in such a dark place at the time. I was really swimming upstream against life. and I was not having a great go of it. And when he opened up his first Ninja Turtle action figure, which was a NECA Raphael bootleg, it was a bootleg, he produced this sound. He made this like joyous squeal. I was like, God damn, I used to be that happy, you know, and I used to be that happy about anything, regardless about getting my new toy in the fucking mail, you know what I mean? Like, I used to be that happy about anything. And it kind of stuck with me, it kind of burnt in my brain. I was, you know, just out running my own business and dragging myself into the ground. And, you know, time passed, things went moving along. And then the following Christmas came, and I was like, you know what, I'm at that point I was like shutting down my business. I was like, I'm gonna get myself a little Christmas present, you know, and I decided I was gonna get myself a pack of those bootlegs, and I did, and I got them, and it was, you know, my version of the same feeling, just like, wow, these things are really fantastic. And I had them at my workspace with me, because I took like 2 or 3 months to shut the place down. And I just had them at my workspace with me, and it was like so fun to have them there in my downtime and pose them and take pictures of them and stuff. And it started to like rekindle that creative feeling inside me. Like, when you're a creative person, you've got this feeling inside of you and you want to get it out and show it to people. And I hadn't been creative in so long. Like, writing my own stuff was a little daunting. But it wasn't daunting to like take these action figures and put them in poses, and like, you know, if I had a feeling inside or a theme or a picture in my head, I could get it out in the world with these things. And it was like, oh shit, this is the first time in like several years, because of running this business, because of like having these kids, that I have been able to like express something creative, even if it's just using these pop culture totems, you know what I mean, and putting them in poses and stuff. And that was really profound. That like really blew my mind. I was like, wow, like I can get back to my creativity through this. And I have, slowly but surely. It's taken a couple years, but this stuff kind of sparked that again. And so there's a fine line, because there could be mindless consumerism where you're just warehousing shit from Ross in your house, you bought it because it was on discount. Or there is, like, these things can be some kind of conduit to a new kind of creativity that I didn't have before, which can then I can claw my way back to that old creativity that I had. So anyway, I mean, I say all that to say that I'm the fucking NECA king. And, you know, even if I was down to my last bootleg Donatello, I still would be the NECA king. I'm sorry, I just went into a fugue state again. I don't know what I just said. I say all that to say, I need to get out of it, because it's gone beyond that now. Now it's like this thing where I'm like watching for new releases and fucking, oh, we're going to get the pre-order and everything. And I'm like I've gone full blown collector mode, not in the position of life to do that. It's not a fucking priority. It's just not a time in my life to be like running out to Target and spending $40 a pop on these fucking things or more. So I have to put it behind me. And I've created a very hard list of releases this year that I'm purchasing. And that's that. These toys don't evaporate. That's what I always have to remind myself. Like, oh man, like, if I sell this figure now, like I'll never be able to replace it at that price or whatever. And it's like, these things don't evaporate. They're going to be here. There's still millions and millions of Playmates toys hanging around from when they were originally fucking made. It's easier to get some of the original Playmates toys than it is to get the new reissues from Playmates in some cases. It's easier to get your hands on. You buy them on eBay for $5. And, you know, it just, I've slid down that path now where like I realize now that I can't buy 95, but I'm still trying, and it's got to kind of end. I got into this to kind of recapture that joy, to buy 1995 again, as it were. And, you know, I know that that's not going to happen. So now what I have to do is understand what this is and curate it as part of my life, because it can be a creative outlet and it can be a sort of soothing thing. It's definitely soothing to be down here and be writing and be sort of ensconced in a corner that is filled with all of my first nostalgic inspirations, you know, and the more stuff that I bring down here and add to it, the more it feels like home to me. Every man's got to have his little slice. You know, every man's got to have his little slice, and that's what I have down here. You have to, at some point, realize that the collector bug is just that. It's just a bug, and you've got to control it somehow. So, for the rest of the year, I'm going to try to take time off from... dude, the Worms of Madness shredder, I had to fucking control myself when I saw that that was going on clearance for like $30. Like, I have to control myself because shit goes on clearance, and I'm like, oh, they're paying me money to buy this. It goes on clearance, they're paying me money to buy it. And that's crazy, right? That's crazy talk. But that's what we do as collectors. We're like, oh man, they're giving this shit away now. I gotta buy that. It's only $17. The Night Watcher Mikey's $17. I'm saving money. Well, crazy toy collector logic, but anyway, just ruminating on like how I got started here, where I'm going, why I'm the NECA king, why you are just a peasant in my kingdom, why you should be paying me taxes in plastic. Send me, I demand Super 7 reaction figures from all of you. Come. And I prefer army builders, okay? And Muckman. So if you don't, then it's Prima Nocta. Prima Nocta for the NECA King. I get to ride into your village, and if you don't have a Super 7 reaction TMNT figure for me, I get to open one of your freshies. It doesn't have anything to do with sleeping with your wife. I get to come in and open one of your beloved freshies that's like mint in box, or I get to open one of your blister packs, like you have a mint on card soft head, and I just come in and crack it open. Sniff the plastic for the first time. You know what I mean? Take that away from you. Anyway, this is the NECA King, and I love you guys. There have been people watching, and I really, really appreciate it. Not a lot of people watch, but those of you that do, I really appreciate. And I'll see you next time. Hopefully maybe a little more coherent video. Hopefully a sweet, sweet unboxing of something. I'll talk to you later. Anyway, thank you guys. Bye.